What's up, everybody? This is Jason Niner Smash coming from it's from the Niner Faithful Radio Week in Review and Vikings preview show. As of right now, it's just me. I'm going solo. TJ is on his way home. No idea when he's going to be back. But yeah, so it's just me for right now. Maybe some people want to jump in. Cool. If not, cool. Like I said, I'll just wait for TJ to get on, and we'll see how long this stream goes. All right, so again, for everybody, thank you for showing up very much. And then I'm going to hit that lovely intro, and we will be back in just a minute. All right, ladies and gentlemen. Hi, how's it going? What's up, Talofa? Y'all know what I say on these things. Hey, so again, just me going right now. So we'll see how long this show goes because hey, you never plan on doing this by yourself, then you have to, and then you're just like kind of stuck with time on there. So we'll see how it goes. All right, we got Danielle Thompson and Talofa. Thank you for showing up. As usual, we are going to be doing some drinking with this one. This is always a drinking show, so I'm just doing a little simple tonight. Got a little bit left over of some Pinnacle Whip vodka. Got a little bit of the Kahlua, so we're just going to be making some Black Russians. With the whip stuff, you don't actually need to add like milk or creamer or anything else like that to it because it kind of has that taste to it. So, as always, cheers, everybody. All right, so now we will start the show. Oh, let me see if this message is from TJ. See if he's going to be showing up anytime soon. No, that is not from TJ. So we're still going solo on this one. All right. So I think the big news of the week, and I am sure that everybody knows about this one. Let me pull my stuff up because I had to restart my computer like 9 times because right at about 5:55, everything on my computer decided to stop working. All right, there's that. So let's go ahead and pull this up. So obviously, I believe the big thing coming off the news. Let's see, Danielle. Jason got quarter backups on who is Kyle's favorite. Yeah, for sure. And I've seen lots of people predicting that perhaps Purdy is on a little bit of a short leash, perhaps, depending on how it goes with with him. Say he doesn't progress and he stays the same, or he regresses or anything. A lot of people are saying that Cousins is still on his list for who he would back, so who he would go after this offseason. So we'll see what happens with that. I personally would rather stick with Brock rather than getting an older quarterback like Kurt. I would have liked Kurt 5 years ago when all this first stopped, but hey, it's too late now for me. Bebop, thanks for showing up, brother. Thank you very much. So yeah, as far as as Danielle telling Bebop, hey. All right, so as far as the big news of the week, I'm pretty sure that everybody knows this. This is CJ Gardner, or not CJ, yeah, CJ Gardner talking trash to Debo, basically saying, Debo, you're not actually a wide receiver. You're just a running back who, plays wide receiver and all that kind of stuff. And you suck at routes and all that kind of stuff. How's it going, Jess? Thank you very much. And then we have Danielle for sure. Kirk Cousins is my favorite guy. Yeah. So these two are talking trash back and forth. So with CJ, I will say this to CJ's point when he is talking about Debo and his route running ability. I think we all know it's pretty obvious Debo is not the best route runner to begin with. So that's fine. But Debo does so many other things across the board that he doesn't need to be that perfect route runner like say Ayuk gets or some of the other top wide receiver. His game is not running those precise routes to get open. He finds a spot, he gets the ball, and then he just runs everybody over. That's how Debo plays wide receiver. Yeah, you might want to say, yeah, I know, but this is also a week in review show, Steve-O, so we're definitely going to be going over the stuff that's happened this week. So hence the Debo and Gardner stuff. We got just saying hey to Bebop. So yeah, Debo is, as we call him, the wide back. He plays the mixed position between wide receiver and running back. But again, so yeah, he's right. Debo isn't the greatest route runner that we have on the team, but that still means he gets trucked. He still trucks people all the time. He gets open, he gets his scores, and all that kind of thing. Roberto, thank you for showing up as always, brother. Thank you very much. Check this message. Nope, not TG on that one. So yeah, so that is that one. Is Kyle resting CMC? We'll see. We'll get to that a little bit later when we get to that stuff. So yeah, but one thing CJ needs to remember is that I believe it was 2019 when I believe he missed the tackle on George Kittle during that Saints game. Everybody remembers that Saints game and that run by Kittle. And then if you remember, he was the one who jumped on the back of Kittle and who was like yanking on his neck and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, keep talking your trash, CJ. Push comes to shove, we'll see you in the playoffs, and we'll just send Kittle off your way because apparently you don't want to tackle him. You don't want none of that smoke with Kittle. So definitely that. Oh, yeah, definitely. Yeah, it's just I don't know what brought about that. I mean, I know it had to do with the fight that started on Sunday with the Browns and all that, and then I guess a bunch of other people. Why he got so butthurt and decided to go? I guess he was on Twitter and he was on Instagram. I guess it was Instagram Live where he was really talking his trash. And basically, Debo was like, "Dude, you're mad. I got my money. Nobody knows who you are, and you team hop left and right." So, I mean, I think Debo had the correct response. Basically, just brushed it off, and it's like, "Hey, we'll see you in the playoffs because we're not playing them this year during the regular season. So, keep talking your trash, and we'll see you down the road." All right. How's it going, Angel? Thank you very much. Thomas Stones, the Debo Swift. Everybody copies it now. Yeah, it's always been a thing. I think Debo just improved it to the point to where now everybody's doing it a lot more. I mean, we even do it a lot more now because we have Ray running pretty much the same sweep quite often whenever Debo is not in. So we have seen even us use it more than everybody. Yes, it's definitely on an increase because of how well Debo has been running it this year. See, Bebop, Gardner thinking about Debo. How cute. Yeah, definitely. Jess saying what's up to everybody. Jess saying, by the way, everybody, if you don't know, please go follow Jess over at the East Coast Red and Gold podcast. They do great podcasts. So they usually have some great guests that come onto their show as well. Also, we have the Shaw Show, which I believe is now the Shaw Show podcast because I think he did restart his channel. So make sure to find his channel and go sub on that one. That's Steve-O, the Fembot. Yeah, so that is the big news coming out with this week, besides all the injuries and everything else we have. Just drama. Again, nobody knows why he's over here talking trash about to Debo for like I said, none of his business. But you know what happens? You stick your nose in somebody else's business and you start getting hit. Kittle interview was hilarious. I've seen shorts of it, but I haven't actually had time to actually sit down and watch the entire interview. So it's been a crazy week at work and everything. And then let's see who else we got in here. Yeah, Randy Daytona, thank you for showing up, brother. Debo, coincidence? I think not. Let's see, Shaw Show, sticking with the same old one since YouTube. Oh, okay. Well, in that case, don't sub to the new one, and everybody stick to the same sub that you have to him now. And if you have not subbed to him, please make sure that you head over there and sub to his. And then that is just Brandy saying, what's up? All right, so next on this, and again, ladies and gentlemen, going solo with this. Who knows how long this will last because TJ is supposed to be here. And I think TJ had some family stuff come up that he's taking care of right now. So this might be a shorter than usual show on here without any back and forth. Right. So the transactions that we've done this week, we brought both Curtis Robinson and Sherman Jean Charles back to the practice squad. They were promoted to the active list, to the active roster on Saturday of last week. And so now they're just coming back down for this week. More than likely, they'll probably be promoted again, perhaps, depending on who else we decide to bring up and how we're playing, what kind of personnel that we're going to be running. So let's see. Oh, Thomas over here. I went to the game in Cleveland. I sent a dog pound wearing red. It was awesome. Yeah, I mean, I've heard going to Cleveland games to the dog pound, it's definitely a good place. It's one of the few stadiums left in the NFL where I think it's still like aluminum. So they can like hit on the seats and the stomp on the floor and everything. It still has that old school sound, almost like a high school team when you know the high school bleachers and everything like that. That sort of a sound. They still have that going in there. Jesse saying hey to Randy. You picking a game or any bets? I got some bets coming up down at the towards the end of the slides and everything. Randy saying what's up to Anshul. Do these make me concerned? Yeah, definitely. There's quite a bit coming up on theirs. Yeah, bleacher seats. Yeah, like I said, I want to say Seattle in the Hawks Nest. It's still the bleacher seats. I've never actually sat in the Hawks Nest, so I don't remember how it is. But I'll be sitting next to it come Thanksgiving, so we'll definitely be seeing how that goes. I'll have to double check that. All right, so everybody wants to, so obviously this week, skip the slide, we are going to be going up against the Minnesota Vikings. Right now, the Vikings are on 2-4. They're kind of a middle of the pack, pretty much everything. They're, like I said, so they're low key better than what their record and how they're playing right now shows up. Because right now, and of course, because I had all of this, I had to restart the computer. I lost all this. Let me pull it back up. Isn't it nice? Is that a newer or older stadium for the Vikings? I do not remember. All right, so for the Vikings so far, they started out the season with a loss to Tampa Bay, and then a loss to the Vikings, then a loss to the Chargers. So they're 0-3. Then they beat the Panthers, and then they lost to the Chiefs, and then they beat the Bears. But then again, everybody beats the Bears. I mean, they had a good week last week against the Bears, but it's pretty much the reset point for every team. Would be the Bears probably. So all their wins so far have come from less than 8 points, which reminds me a lot of their season from last year, where I think they had a total of, I think it was like 11 games that were decided by a touchdown or less. And then for them to start off as slow as they have, there's never been a team who had that many teams or that many games won with such a slim margin that went on the next year to have a winning record. So we'll see how the rest of their season turns out, being that they started out at 2-4. All right. Let's see. Danielle, Randy, you rock. He does. All right, Randy, we got the Anshul's name written correctly now. Fred Warren, Defensive Player of the Year, definitely playing like that. Even with the loss last week, he still had a pretty damn good game. Thanks, Randy. Should be the same one. Jason, you got an AOL. AOL. What's with the AOL part? I don't understand. Oh, American Online. I don't think I even had internet when American Online was back then. We got John LaJoy. For those of you who don't know, and I know I mispronounced his name at some point, I got to get him to actually tell me how to pronounce it correctly. He just started his own YouTube channel. I think right now he's got 4 or 5 episodes up so far, so he's doing a good job. I haven't been able to catch anything live of his yet, but I've watched a few of the episodes on it afterwards. So again, everybody, so go over to John's channel and just type his name into YouTube and you'll see it. Let's see, somebody will spell that way. LaJoy. Is that actually how it's been? Is it actually LaJoy for how it's pronounced? I have no idea. But anyways, yeah, so the Vikings, it's middle of the road of everything when it comes to how their defense and their offense is. Like I said, low key, they're a lot better than what their record shows up as when we get into some of these other parts of this one. All right, so for the first part that I know that a lot of people is always worried about is we have our injury report. So right now, the injury report, we're showing Aaron Banks, Dre Greenlaw, who were both at practice again today, practicing. So yes, so both of them are headed back towards showing that they're going to be ready to go on Monday night. Then we also have Christian McCaffrey with his oblique. He was not practicing today. He was on the side field working with a couple of the other trainers, but didn't do anything actually with the team. So we had that. Then we have Debo, who didn't do anything at all, still out with his shoulder injury. Also Trent, but Trent also not practicing today with an ankle. But between Debo and Trent, with those guys have got the status for the veteran status to where they could just take a day off and they could still be ready to go on Monday. Isaiah Oliver also had a knee issue, and then George Odom had a quadricep issue. Now, for the Vikings, they had their guard Ezra Cleveland, who was also out with a foot. Caleb Evans, their quarterback, also out with the oblique. Patrick Jones, their linebacker, a shoulder. Jalen Naylor, a wide receiver with a hamstring. And of course, the one that is not listed here is Justin Jefferson. He is out for the next 2 more weeks, I believe, because he was put on IR. 5 showing. Okay, yep. Right, yes. Joy, he said it was cool. Cool. Well, if he said it was cool to call him LaJoy, we shall call him John LaJoy. John LaJoy. So definitely, everybody, remember, copy paste that. Whatever you got to do, go find him on YouTube and give him a sub. Another 49ers content. So welcome him to the family like everybody else. Let's see. It shows that his next one is going to be 11:30 live and have a pre-recording in the morning. Cool. Cheers to that, brother. All right. So that is the injury report. From what I understand, it's going to be a game time decision between Trent, Debo, and CMC for if they play or not. Now, we do have the extra day, being that we're playing on Monday night. Tomorrow is going to be a big indicator of how these guys are going, because normally we would find out a big injury report today if they played on Sunday, but obviously it's going to be pushed back a day because we're playing on Monday night. So probably pay attention to a lot of things that will be coming out tomorrow, probably about 1 or 2 o'clock, and we'll see what happens as far as what these guys are going to go Monday night. All right. I said your name right. Cool. LaJoy it is. Then there's Biba. All right. So the next one we got on this list is this is going to be the coaching staff for the Minnesota Vikings. Their head coach is Kevin O'Connell. 2 seasons so far. He's 15-8 in just 2 seasons. Their offensive coordinator, who's probably offensive coordinator in name only, because I believe O'Connell does most of the play calls, is Wes Phillips. You guys have probably heard that last name, as he is the younger brother to Wade Phillips. So definitely got some family trees going on with this one. And then their defensive coordinator is Brian Flores, formerly the head coach of the Minnesota Vikings. He was the one who called out the Dolphins organization for basically telling him to tank. And then there was the whole thing with Brady when he was supposedly trying to go to the Dolphins and be a owner / quarterback and all that kind of stuff. So he was a guy. I've always thought Brian Flores was a pretty good coach. I thought he actually had Miami going in a pretty good direction until a few injuries derailed what they had going there. But if you look at what Miami is doing right now, they definitely seem to be on the up and up and everything. So maybe they're not missing him, but still, he was definitely done a little bit dirty by the Dolphins team. All right, so going into the the Vikings offense, they are the number 12 overall offense. And the thing with them is they've got 9 lost fumbles so far, and they're averaging 21.5 points per game. So you got Kirk Cousins with 1,680 yards passing, with 14 touchdowns and only 4 interceptions. So Kirk Cousins has actually been playing pretty good. I think the only person he's missing, or the only person he's behind right now when it comes to yards passing and touchdowns, is Tua. So as much as Kirk Cousins gets knocked for being an average quarterback, he's actually not as bad as a lot of people. He's just boring. He doesn't do anything spectacular for the most part. He's just kind of there doing everything. Their running attack is now led by Alexander Madison. He's got 300 yards rushing, 320 yards rushing on the year so far, no touchdowns. And then, of course, their big passing target is going to be T.J. Hawkinson. We all know him, formerly of the Detroit Lions. He's got 305 yards receiving and 2 touchdowns. So they're a pretty balanced attack for the most part. They've got some younger wide receivers who are up and coming, playing pretty good. But again, they're number 12. They probably have a much better record if it wasn't for the fact that they've lost 9 fumbles. That I want to say like 6 of them put them inside like the 40-yard line. So they've behind their defense is just, or excuse me, their offense is putting them behind the chain when it comes to some of these fumbles they've lost. So there's that. Of course, you have the whole Kirk Cousins with the whole shirt off thing with all the chains to everybody. All right, their defense is again middle of the pack, number 15 overall. Let's see what Sancho says here. We actually see there's Cam Akers and Alexander Madison. Yeah, I'm expecting Cam Akers to at some point just take over the starting position here. So yeah, definitely with this, I definitely expect these guys to start punching balls out and everything like that. We're a really good team when it comes to doing that. Especially if we get Greenlaw back. Greenlaw just swings from left field when he starts tackling people. So of course, a lot of you guys will know Danielle Hunter. He's one of the players a lot of us kind of wish that we traded for in the offseason, maybe. He is leading the NFL, or he's tied actually with the NFL lead with sacks with TJ Watt with 8. They got a nice safety, young'un, Cam Bynum. He's leading the team with 60 tackles so far. And then they've also got Jordan Hicks, who a lot of us will also remember from his days over at with the Arizona Cardinals, 53 tackles, another solid linebacker by them. One thing that they will do, as you can see at the bottom, they have a 57% blitz ratio in the NFL. It leads the NFL, and I think the next closest is like 40. So they're going to come after us all day long. So expect to see a lot of maybe screens, maybe some draw plays to get some behind all of those. Lots of slants from these guys. It's going to be a big day for, these guys with a quick passing game with Purdy, which we know he is okay with. He can get the ball out fast enough to get these guys and let the Yak brothers get out there in space and do that thing. Let's see, double check if TJ just messaged me. He'll be done in about 15 minutes, but by the time he comes home, we'll probably be done here. All right, so as far as fantasy football projection goes right now, the Vikings are pretty much average for what they've got across the board. Right now, there's really nothing out there for Devo or CMC, considering that they are game time decisions. I'm actually hoping that this one for Kittle gets up a little bit higher. I'm hoping he gets another game like the Dallas game. If we can get behind their linebackers with them blitzing and everything like that all the time, it should be a good game for Kittle, which would obviously increase the fantasy points for Brock. So, yeah, that's all we got for fantasy. All right, and then I believe it was Steve-O earlier. So here's the betting lines. The Niners are favored by 6.5 points, which, not bad when you're on the road. I'm going to take that one. I definitely think we are going to win by more than 6.5 points. The over-under is 44. I'm actually going under on this one. I don't think it's going to be – well, I think the offense is still going to be explosive. I think with the way they blitz, Minnesota that is, how they blitz, some of their blitzes are going to come in hot, fast, and, just might push us back a little bit, maybe not get some of the big plays. All right. And then for some of the prop bets, with BA over 65 yards receiving, I am taking that one. Brock over 236, I'm also taking that one. And then with Purdy with 2 touchdown passes, I'm going to take that one. Excuse me. Then we go with some of the ones from the Vikings point of view. Madison under 45 yards rushing. I'm not going to take that one. I definitely think he can. Actually, you know what? I'm going to take that back. I will take that one because, as Enschel had said earlier, with him and Akers, with how they split the reps, I will actually take that one. He will not get to 45 yards rushing. Yeah, I'll take that one. Cousins, 235 yards passing. I'm going to take it, maybe because they're playing from behind, trying to get some of, to do the comeback. And then Hawkinson, 75 yards receiving. And let's see, being that I will not take that one simply because I know that right now he's going to be their number one receiving threat, and we're probably going to have Fred and Dre over him all day. So I will not be taking that one. So that is the betting lines on that one. And then last but not least, I have us winning 28-14. So that's a little bit under on the over. I think it's 42. So definitely on the under part of the over-under. And, yeah, With just me going solo today, ladies and gentlemen, that is all I have. Let's see. Every time I see Cousins, I feel like he's doing things. Yeah, like I said, Cousins is not exciting in any sort of a way as a quarterback. But what he is he's solid. He moves the ball down the field. But he just has problems in prime time, which obviously playing Monday night, we do have a prime time game. Had Cousins come here over Jimmy G per se, I say we win the Super Bowl. We would have won a Super Bowl with Cousins instead of Jimmy G because I think Cousins has much more dynamic over Jimmy G. All right, pull that up. So then we would go through this stuff. Obviously, we have our affiliate link on. Let me get that off. Randy. Our affiliate link over here at Shop 49ers. Please use that. It's going to be in the description of all our videos or our podcast. Same thing with Sheet Giant. It definitely helps us out. Get some money in our hands. All the places that you can find us. We're on Facebook, Instagram, Tumblr, and on Twitch with NRF Faithful Radio. Basically, all you got to do is type in NRF Faithful Radio, and you will find us everywhere on the internet that you need to be found. Also, on Monday, you will hear from TJ. Will be doing the pregame. I will be doing the halftime show as usual, and then Jamie will be doing the postgame show afterwards. And you listen to the end of the show to get a 20% coupon on anything for the faithful, by the faithful. We're just going to say beat the Vikings because, like I said, this is usually TJ stuff, so usually he's the one that takes care of that. So let's see. Brandy's 100% time. Well, happy early birthday there, John. We will definitely. So, that's all I have. Yeah, these shows go pretty fast when it's just you doing a show solo by yourself. So, I'm pretty sure that one of the guys over between Brian Culp, Corey Davis, Ryan with No Border Sports, or Joe Stevens will be doing their Friday night variety show. So if you guys want to hop over there in about 20 minutes or so, they will be going live doing their shows, and then one of them will lead into the second show starting at 9 o'clock. But after that, I've got literally nothing else. So I went, like I said, did this one by myself. To everybody that did show up, cheers. Thank you very much. Bang, bang, Niner Gang. We'll see you guys on Monday.